Folks, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show. Back here at the Hop Shop again. Seems to be the new place to introduce young talent to my audience and the world. Vadana, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Hello.
Can you just talk about your intentions for getting into music to begin with? What was it about it that had a calling for you?
I think I've been singing and listening to music. My parents also are musically inclined for the longest time ever. Like, I've been doing music since I was like 3 years old. It's always been something that's kept me grounded, I guess, and is somewhere I go to like when I feel lost. So I think that that's something that I want to keep up with. My intention with it is to share, I guess, my feelings. Like, I guess also like show South Asian girls that they can do music also, and not just like science. And, like,
I love that.
math.
Let's just break that down. I mean, you're telling me that from the part of the world that you come from, that your heritage is from, girls are not encouraged to play music.
Like,
It's more like, I mean, just the idea that for a long time they weren't even allowed to be professionals. I mean, how far has the liberation come for women in South India?
I guess that's a deep question, but
Welcome to the Jake
I'll
Feinberg
answer
Show.
like
Yeah.
surface level. I guess like music is definitely not seen as something career wise. Like, they don't look at music as something that people should pursue.
As a career.
Yeah, as a career. So, and I think that it's totally a thing. Like, you could totally do it. And it's not discouraged, but it's also not encouraged, and that's saying something, I guess.
As best you can sort of glean from your mom, especially growing up, I mean, and just the timeless music of India in general, I mean, is it more of a devotional practice music there? Or, I mean, legitimate musician, it's considered a profession there.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely different now than it was like when my mom was growing up and stuff, but it's still like music as a career is still new, and it's still like growing. And if there's like a musician from India that's like super good, people usually say like, oh, like that's a rapper from India.
Right.
Like, not like a rapper.
Right. It has to be.
rapper.
It has to be attached to the.
Yeah,
to
it
part
has to be
of
like, oh, that's a rapper from India. So I think it's still like a newer thing coming up. It's definitely different from what it was when my mom was younger.
When you were talk about the earliest memories you have, I mean, what was the musical sort of participation like? What was the vibe like? Was it for yoga? Was it for prayer? Was it?
Oh no, there's like Bollywood music. People listen to and stuff.
What did your dad play an instrument?
My dad was really interested to learn the guitar.
Wow.
So like he had a Yamaha guitar, acoustic guitar that he never had time to learn it. And so when I picked it up, he was super excited about it. And encouraged it to a certain extent. My mom was the one that was super excited. She took me to keyboard lessons and then did guitar lessons for a little bit. But I grew up listening to my mom singing all the time, and I kind of grew up thinking that everybody just sings. But then like I only figured that it was something special when like my friends heard me sing in school, and they're like, oh, can you send me a voice note? That's really cool. Like, you can really sing. And then I realized that, okay, I can actually like sing and express myself in this way, and it's special. It's not just something that everybody does at home. So that's kind of how I got into it.
And well, also clearly you have a great voice, which maybe we'll be able to hear. But you know, because what I was trying to say about Chris Pena was that he's like, the place to be tonight is at Bar Crisol for you and Kenji. I didn't make it to the gig, but I have a feeling that your voice is your magic gift.
Yeah, I sing. I like singing. I can sing. Singer.
Do you feel like is it?
That's for real.
Yeah. Typical Tucson. Do you feel that like, how has it been to just go about being a musician here in town?
It's okay. It's nice. Like, I'm definitely balancing my science background with my music, and I'm not like 100% doing music, I want to, and that'd be cool. And I also want to balance my science background.
So you have a day gig here.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
So I work. I'm an emergency vet tech.
Wow.
I work with animals, primarily dogs and cats, small animal emergency critical care at a veterinary specialty center, Tucson.
And you are, wow, that is deep. So then, so at this point, yeah, because I mean, the idea, I mean, these cats here that are about to play in Sunshower, I mean, these guys are just, I mean, they're playing church gigs, they're playing folk gigs, they're doing everything they can to just get by. And you know what?
That's cool.
The truth is, they're really insane musicians, and they're tired only because they're tired of making only like 19 grand a year. So it really, I mean, what would be your message to society about, because it's easy to say, yeah, I want people to become musicians, but that also means that society needs to view a musician as a profession. It's not pay to play. It's not play for the door. You know, so that becomes very deflating after a while for a lot of musicians, especially ones that are really freaking good. And I just wanted you to talk about the idea of, I don't know, just regular citizens ponying up to support the musicians in this town.
Yeah, I agree. Like, people should support local art. And they do, like, my coworkers will come watch me play and stuff.
When is your, what kind of, do you have any steady gigs, or what kind of gigs do you play pretty consistently?
I honestly don't go out of my way to, like, book myself, but if I'm invited to play, I'm happy to play. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go through the 4 L's here. This is what my show is about.
Okay.
What are the most effective forms of leadership on the bandstand?
I think, like, in a band setting, I value, like, strong friendship, like genuinely loving your bandmates and really enjoying them and their music separately from your own project. I think that's valuable.
Is that leadership? I mean, I guess maybe the point is, like, if you're surrounding yourself with people, do you feel like part of a leader is bringing in people that do stuff that you don't do, that can color the music and enhance the
definitely.
music?
Yeah, definitely. That's a given.
And is it also about telling people what they need to hear sometimes, instead of what they want to hear? Sometimes with friends, you have a tendency to be a little bit too friendly as opposed to what they really need to hear.
Or, like, being assertive in what you want.
I mean, like, basically telling somebody maybe what they don't want to hear, but they need to hear.
I don't think I've had to do that.
I mean, you're just beginning your career, you know?
I guess so. Like, in the past, yes, I've maybe mentioned, like, hey, I need you to do this, so that...
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Can you talk about a time, one of the L's is life, which is another one is overcoming adversity. And I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about a time in your life. It doesn't have to be on musically related, but just you were really fighting it, and ultimately how you overcame it and how it made you a stronger person.
Yeah, I guess everybody has ups and downs. I've definitely had downer times in my life when I, like, lost a lot of friendships. I think, like, what I did to overcome that was kind of change my intentions and my goals, or, like, or not change them, but, like, really think about them. Like, what do I value? What are my intentions? What are my goals? And then rejecting everything else that wasn't in alignment with those goals and intentions.
Wow.
And I think that helped me get out of that slump, or, like, the downer.
Do you feel like, I mean, because the only times in my life that I've really grown has been through adversity. Do you feel like you kind of where do you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone in order to grow right now? Is there an elephant in the room for Vadana?
To grow. I guess, like we were talking about earlier, where I was like, oh, I don't go out of my way to, like, book myself, so maybe that would be, like, something to do. Actually,
Self-promotion, right?
Yeah, like marketing, and, like, hey, I'm gonna go email, like, I never do that, so, like, I think that would be good to do.
Well, especially because musicians have to do that now.
Yeah.
They have to wear 8 hats, you know?
Yeah. So that's probably what I would do. And yeah.
All right, final question. What is your concept of love, and how do you bring love to the world?
I think I'm naturally just very like a lovey-dovey person. I don't know what's my
What is
concept
your concept of it?
I think like being curious about someone. I think to be loved is to be known. So like if
To be loved is to be known. What does that mean?
yeah, like when you really like hear and see somebody for who they are, and you ask questions, like something as simple as like, hey, I made tea this morning. Like your friend calls you, like, hey, I made tea this morning. Like really being like, oh, what kind of tea? Like why do you enjoy it? Do you drink it in the afternoon? Like really like knowing them. I get that's like a super simple example, like surface level example, but like getting to know somebody and like really asking questions, not assuming who they are, and accepting them for who they are unconditionally, I think.
It's kind of like this. This is love.
Cool, love it. Thanks.
You know, because honestly, this is about no matter what. When people watch this 5 minutes from now, 50 years from now, it's about it, not just like putting you sort of on the map, but also like the intention of art is to be shared and not to be judged. And I wonder if how you feel about the idea of when you perform live, how much do you have to get out? How do you get out of your thinking mind in order to drop into your spirit mind, so that you're not worried about perception and judgment and are the people liking this? And because really, what it's more about is you. To me, the intention is you're playing what your life story is, and it doesn't matter what people feel about it. It matters how you feel about it.
Sure.
How do you drop from your head to your heart into your soul?
I don't think I get in my head a lot when I'm doing music.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think I get in my head when I'm doing the writing process. That's when I'm in my head. But then once I've like written it, it's more of just like either the feeling associated with the finished product, or I'm just enjoying the moment and playing my music. Yeah.
Vadana, next time we'll get a place with some good amplification, but I look forward to seeing you on the bandstand, and
Love it.
thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome. Have fun.
This is the Jake Feinberg Show. We'll see you later.